something that I've seen over the many years that I've been trading. So right now, Vantage Point is beginning to roll over positive on the euro, so we'll see how that continues throughout the week. Now, looking at the yen currency futures, again, very important that we look at the yen. The yen is a driving force in the foreign exchange market. It's the second biggest economy for now anyway. China's a very close third. It'll probably overtake Japan soon. But for now, we're looking at these predicted medium and long-term differences in heavily oversold territory. The predicted MACD also in oversold territory. Predicted true strength indicator here getting ready to cross. This tells me, guys, the yen is going to weaken, and if those equities can recover, the yen is absolutely going to weaken, which will put pressure, upward pressure on US Japan, Euro Japan, Great Britain Japan, and Australia Japan. Remember those cross pairs, they're all still based around the yen futures and the US dollar. So it doesn't look like the yen's going to see as good of a week this week. So I would be looking on this particular case to buy Euro Japan, Australia Japan, US Japan on dips, barring any more violent moves in the equity markets. So we've looked at the main futures contracts. Let's go in now and have a look at some of the actual currency pairs. US Swiss franc, we've got 113.48, 115.07, and 115.58 with a close of 115.91. The reason, again, I have this triple EMA crossover is because I am not looking at short-term stuff here, guys. This market does not warrant that. We want to look at the bigger picture. The bigger picture here is that this pair is grossly oversold. Our predicted MACD and our predicted true strength indicator is getting ready to cross to the downside. The medium and long-term differences also in the overbought territory. This tells me we're going to probably get one more push on US Swiss franc, and then we're probably going to see a move back towards at least the 113, 114 area. So using that, by taking that into consideration, what I would do is go into the daily report here. And again, the Forex weekly outlook to start the week, the primary trading will commence on Tuesday, not Monday this week. Again, we've got a holiday. So we're looking at 116.26. Neural Index completely agrees with me, 0. Again, I don't put the Neural Index up on my chart because there's really no reason for me to do so. It's nice and tidy on my daily report. It's very clean. This is what I'm looking for. So looking at this, I can see that I've got the Neural Index pointing down. 116.26 is the high. We want to set our short positions there. We can also see that the predicted short and medium term differences they're all coming down, getting ready to roll over short. So my forecast for the week is a little bit more strength on US Swiss franc, and then this thing is going into a corrective nosedive, probably towards the 114 area. Now again, equity is a big part in this, and they affect each one of these currency pairs, so we want to keep that into consideration. Now, looking at the US-Japan currency pair, again, I just spoke to the yen futures contracts and what I think is going to happen there. We've got some obstacles though: 91.48, 90.80, and 90.72. We've closed at 91.08. So again, the gap between where the market is and the 18-day predicted moving average is beginning to narrow. We've got heavily oversold indicators here on the predicted true strength indicator. This again suggests to me that when this cross takes place, we're going to get a good move. Here's another example of it right here. Back on March the 25th, the predicted true strength indicator crossed, and if we go up here, right here, we're in a flat period, and then it just took right off from the 90 level, proceeded to move all the way up to the 94 level within a week. That's a 400 pip move. Very similar to some of the predicted trades I put out for this past week. So again, I believe that the US-Japan is going to dip back a little bit. When it does, we want to get in there for a buy position. So let's have a quick peek at the daily report for Monday and for Tuesday's trading. So when this thing pulls back, we can get into a dip. So our Neural Index has turned positive. That's a good sign. Predicted short-term difference has also turned positive. Medium and long-term differences coming down. So we've got 90.36 is a potential low. 90.36 is where we want to look. In between 90.36 and 90.50, we want to use that to get into buy positions and start getting ready for what I believe will be a trend reversal. Now again, yen currency futures also supporting that. Looking at the New Zealand US dollar, I also talked about this one last week, that it was going to start to recover. Now where we're at with this, we've closed the week at 67.89. Major resistance levels here, however, though, are 68.93, 67.85, and 67.63. This rate here, this predicted true strength indicator from Vantage Point, is going to be all through this report today, guys, because it's a very powerful indicator and it's giving us a very good signal here along with this predicted MACD. We can see here that these predicted medium and long-term differences have bottomed out in the oversold territory in this 200 area, and now our indicators are beginning to turn over to the buy side. So what we're going to be doing here, looking for a dip back, but I'm suggesting that New Zealand, US likely to start to recover by Tuesday, Wednesday, and we could start pushing through after maybe one little minor retracement back down. We're probably going to push up and start challenging the 68.93 level. But again, equities will play a large part in this, as will the US dollar, but that's basically how it's looking right now for New Zealand US. Now looking at the Euro US dollar, this thing here is still holding below. The triple EMA has not crossed over. Now again, I've talked about this much like in the Euro FX futures contracts. What I feel is going to happen here is that we're probably going to have one more test to the downside, and then Euro US is going to get into a corrective phase again and challenge this 125.32 area. Very, very likely. The market is way short on the euro here, and whenever the market and you get these one-sided trades, and to be perfectly honest, these one-sided trades on the euro have been in place since essentially all the way back into end of November. So looking at seasonal patterns, looking at past calls that the Vantage Point has made at this time of year, I'm suggesting the euro is probably going to start to recover after one more move to the downside. But again, this area here is likely to be challenged this week in the 125.32 area, but the primary trend, I absolutely agree, is down. It's just a question of whether we're starting to get into a base. And by looking at these candlesticks right here, this suggests to me that around the 121.50 area, we've got 5 candlesticks sitting down here. We could potentially be starting to see a base. If I'm correct in that, then the euro will challenge the 125 again, challenge that 125.32 relatively early in the week.